Good morning. Welcome. Welcome in. Welcome to Cardinal Rose Tarot. My name is Cynthia. I have not been on here to do an upload or a live in like a week, which is kind of weird for me. Since I started this channel, I don't know if that's ever happened. Maybe once before. But the reason is because I've been working on a visual art project. I'm launching an NFT collection. And I'm really excited about it. It's going to launch in a couple days and then drop in terms of its auction date a month from tomorrow, or a month from Saturday on February 17th. So I'm timing these to the new moon and the lunar cycles. And I've been doing a lot of work to get the first 6 in the collection ready to launch, and then have a month to kind of promote it before it goes live to auction. So I'm really excited. It's part of a new tarot deck that I'm making. I'm in the process of making with a reimagined major arcana. So I'm really proud of that work. It's been a long time coming. It's been like 3 years in the making, this NFT project and deck. And there were a couple points where I started to think maybe I'm actually not even going to do it, because NFTs like had their major peak during the pandemic and then haven't quite been as like huge in terms of crypto as they once were. But I did a lot of research to kind of make sure, is there even still a point in trying to launch an NFT, or maybe I just want to start making gifts instead. I don't know, so I ended up deciding there is still a market for NFTs, and so I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. But I'm not a huge blockchain person. Like, I barely understand how it even works, crypto. So I'm kind of doing this a little bit like flying by the seat of my pants, even though I've planned my actual concept and project for like 3 years. In terms of even understanding crypto, I just have a hard time with it. I have a hard time grasping it conceptually. Like, I'm a very physical person, and so part of me was like, well, why would you even buy crypto if we're coming to the end times and that's all going to go away? But we don't know what the like end times are going to look like. For some in the science world, it's more like a concept called the singularity, that has everything to do with tech and AI and reaching an event horizon with it all, where it's going to turn into something that none of us understand yet because it's beyond our capacity to grasp. I don't know. Anyways, I think all that topic is really interesting. And so I feel really good to be back here doing this live reading. So thank you for being here. It looks like I have some folks here. If you want to participate in the chat, hi, thank you. If you want to participate in the chat, please do. I'll answer tarot questions at some point at the end of this general layout. And let's see, I pulled 3 cards ahead of the layout because I wanted to get a theme going for this reading so that I could actually put it in the subject line instead of it just saying live, because I've noticed in a couple other live readings that sometimes people come in but they don't know what it is. They just are interested in watching somebody's live stream. So I tried to make sure to put in the description something, right? So there's some kind of sense of what this is even going to be about. So what came through are 3 different themes. They all came through in the reverse. So we have voodoo, candomblé, santeria, hoodoo, all that in the reverse. So that indicates to me that no, there isn't spell work here. But I think what's been going on is someone's really feeling stuck and thwarted, and they can't figure out what it is. They don't know if someone's practicing black magic against them. They don't know if they need some kind of counseling, healing, recovery process, like 12-step. Queer liberation is also here in the reverse. So what I think is that somebody might be struggling to heal, or feeling like somebody is preventing their healing, or somebody is standing in the way of their healing. Or, with queer liberation in the reverse, this could be something like a fundamentalist Christian family that has decided they're going to send their child to gay conversion camp or something horrible like that. So let's just say right now, as a therapist, those camps are horrible. They're abusive and they're not therapeutic. and they're bad for people who identify as queer. Okay, so if you're a fundamentalist Christian, if you're somebody that thinks that being queer is against the Bible, you're not going to feel welcome on this channel. So I just have to say that. So that's what's coming through here. Somebody is feeling like they've reached some kind of a stalemate or a standstill with their healing, and they're not sure, is it addiction based? Is it identity based? Is it black magic based, right? So somebody might have intersect with a lot of different communities: spiritual community, queer community, recovery community, right? That's what the cards were that came out as the theme. So now I'm going to go ahead and just do a Tetractys layout. And we'll get more information about that. What is this? Who's standing in your way? Or what is this feeling? Someone feels thwarted. Someone feels like something's in their way, either a community or a family or a group. Someone feels like, is someone sabotaging me? Is someone actively trying to prevent my healing? Am I the problem, right? Like, it's just somebody asking themselves the deep questions like that about their own freedom and liberation. So what's going on? Let's find out. What's going on in this collective message? And if you're here with me, thank you for being here. Oh, I see some comments in the chat. Let me put my glasses on here for a second so I can see those. Bear with me. I'm still getting my rhythm for live readings. Hi. Oh, okay. Somebody doesn't like this. See ya. Good. Well, I'm glad that you have seen your way out then, because we don't want haters in here. So let's find out what needs to come through, what wants to come out, Spirit. Kwan did not like that there was queerness as part of a theme of this reading, apparently. But that's why I say things like that. In fact, I was just telling a friend recently, I don't do dating apps. I don't online date because I'm an introvert and I don't like the process of online dating. But back when I did, one thing that I did to try to screen out haters was I just put one line in my dating profile that said, you should be comfortable with feminism. And that's all it took. Like, any men that are like, have some weird ideas about what it is, just saw themselves out. And I didn't have to weed them out otherwise, right? It saved me a lot of time. So let's see here. What wants to come through? This person that feels blocked is trying to move into, sorry about the heater. I just have to say that. I know it's really noisy. I apologize. It's winter, so I have to leave it on. It's distracting, I know. Someone in the collective or someone near you, if it's not you, feels blocked. They feel like they haven't been able to get anything going or get traction in their healing and their happiness, and they're trying to move into a calmer place and figure it out. Like, what's going wrong? Why am I not, what's in my way? What's blocking me? There's been a feeling of disappointment in your heart center. So you may have felt upset in your emotion body, right? Upset about, like, people don't understand me, or why are my emotions so intense all the time, or how come I feel so intensely? You might be a trauma survivor, or this person that feels blocked like this is possibly a trauma survivor. Someone that just got really disappointed in love and felt blocked in love. So for some of you, this might be a love reading, okay? You might end up having love messages come out. You may have felt like someone was trying to block your love life, and you're like, what is, okay, that would make sense. Like, what is going on? Why isn't my love life moving forward with my person? Are they queer? Like, maybe they're not into women, right? Like, you're asking yourself, or someone is asking themselves, right? Are they caught up in an addiction, and that's why they don't want it? You know, you might be asking yourself these questions because romance is definitely coming through. And yeah, there's a frustrated, stagnant energy. There's no change happening. You can't figure out, where is your person? Why is this relationship not working? You've wondered, are they queer? And that's why it's not going to be, because we're actually not a match, because we don't have the same alignment of attraction. It's a disappointment in the heart. you've really struggled because you don't feel strong in the situation. You feel really weak, like you feel kind of at the mercy of the situation. And that's what came through with those cards. Like, what is going on? Why can't I seem to break out of this stuck place that I don't understand what's going on? There's a lot of confusion. Like, you might be sort of like, what is causing this? And it's just straight up confusion, interfering with your ability to even get a sense. We have the Page of Swords in the reverse in the very center. So that indicates to me someone with a little bit of a bad vibe or a bad attitude. Who is that? Who's the Page of Swords here in the center of the reading? Because I think, so I'm sorry. I didn't mean to accuse the collective who the reading is for of having a bad attitude, but there is a little bit of, like, you've got some blind spots here about this. And so that's why this reading is coming out. I mean, you would be the first person to say, yeah, I'm confused. I'm not clear on what's going on. So that's what that means. Sometimes the Page of Swords can mean like spying or somebody that's, you know, watching you, but whatever. That's not what it seemed to mean here. You feel like you've got to turn off your heart because you've had so much disappointment here that you're like, well, I guess my joy is never going to come. And the sooner I accept that, the better. That's your thinking. You're thinking like, I just need to let go. This is never going to happen. Everything, I don't know what this person is, if they're gay, if they're an addict, what, right? Like, I don't know. It's a problem. And the sooner I figure it out and let go, the better. That's what you're thinking. And your shadow is telling you, walk away. You're not going to get your needs met in this dynamic. But in your sort of higher reasoning, you're like, but I'm learning, maybe this was all a spiritual lesson. That's where you're starting to settle. Is like, maybe this whole thing happened because I just needed to learn some spiritual truths about love and loss. And now here comes this Three of Wands, which is a major shift in where things are headed. So what is that? What's the Three of Wands and where the energy is heading? Because you've determined that something about this relationship that you had love for, like, you're like, well, they're blocked or something's blocking it. I don't know what it is, but I can't figure it out, and I'm tired of trying to figure it out, and I need to just try to let go, apparently. So now what's this Three of Wands and where the energy is headed? Oh, wow. So just hang on, because just when you think you understand what's happening, boom, some kind of shocking turn of events is going to happen. So this stagnant lack of change that's been really frustrating you, check it out. Wham! Here comes the Tower. So now there's all kinds of change coming, and it's change for the better as far as you're concerned, because you've been very unhappy with this stagnant situation and feeling of being blocked and just trying to make the best out of it, but you're like, what the fuck? Well, here comes the change. And justice, that is really welcome. So everything that's been in your way, it's getting cleared away in an instant. Whatever event is going to happen, poof, it's gone. Whatever obstacle's gone. Whatever dilemma's gone. Whatever stress, gone, right? It's just all going to radically shift in an instant, and you're going to get justice. Really cool. And a happy new home. This is fucking great. Whoever this reading is for, tell me, claim it if it's your reading. If any of this is sounding familiar, I want to know. Hi. Martin Starr, is this the devil's game? I don't think this is the devil's game. I love tarot. I don't think it's I don't think it's of the devil. If you do, maybe you shouldn't be here. You might be being corrupted. If you're here watching my reading and you think that it's devilish, maybe you better get going, because you might get corrupted by me. So this is super exciting for someone. This collective reading is going from, what is blocking me? I can't figure it out. I'm exhausted. I'm sick of it. This person I'm in love with, they're not making a move. Are they gay? Are they an addict? Like, that's what it's all going. Is someone doing black magic to prevent it, right? Like, you've gone the full gamut of like what could be going wrong. You've explored all possible ideas and been like, well, whatever it is, it doesn't matter anymore. I have to just let go. I don't know anything more than I did when I first started wondering. I've got to let it go. Maybe the letting go is what's bringing this in. Maybe your final surrender and walking away is what this person's like, oh, no, you don't. You're not going anywhere. Here I am. Boom. Here's justice. Here's all of it, right? So now let's pull some other cards to get a sense, because this is very exciting. So what was preventing it? I'm curious about that, because that might help you know if this is your reading. What was preventing this? What was preventing things from moving forward? It might have been something like divine timing, right? Where it just wasn't the right time yet for some reason. What was preventing this love relationship from moving forward until now? I mean, it really had you like, this is messed up. I can't figure it out. I'm just going to have to walk away. I don't even know how I'm going to walk away because I really love this person, but I got to go, right? It's been a whole thing for you, a whole journey of running to stand still, kind of. And so what now? What was it? Sorry, that's what I meant to ask. What was preventing it? What was preventing this? What was preventing this? Twin flame in the reverse. So one thing that might have been preventing it was that you might have gotten hung up on the twin flame label, or the other person did, or maybe just the whole concept in general of like fate and destiny and twin flames had you tripping and had you like, oh, I don't know, they're not showing up. I thought this was my twin flame. They never showed up for me. I guess that maybe I wasn't a twin flame after all. That could be in play here, right? Love spell in the upright. So what's interesting is that someone was practicing love magic that was causing a backfire, is what I'm picking up. And so I don't know who was doing the love workings, whether it was someone in the collective or the person that you're thinking of. And so I had an experience like that. Somebody that I was in love with, and I had a dream that they did a love spell on me. And it was so trippy. This dream was intense. I was in love with this person, right? In real life. I'm in love with them in real life. And I then go into this dream space. In the dream, the person I'm in love with did a love spell on me. And the way it showed me that was this person took their hand, reached into my heart, and grabbed a piece out of it. And I actually felt it. I felt it in my sleep, and it felt like not good, even though I love the person, right? And I remember in the dream being shocked, and I pulled way back, and I was like, what are you doing? I yelled at them, and the person was startled, and I don't even know what they said, if they even answered me. And then I screamed this at them in the dream. I said, I loved you anyways. You didn't have to do that, because it caused harm to me. It hurt my heart center, right? And so it might be something like that. It might be something like that happened. That somebody practiced love magic out of a fear of losing you, or you practiced love magic out of a fear of losing your twin, and it backfired, and it ground everything to a halt. It prevented anything from moving forward. Yeah, it even ended up like your respect is here though. Like respect is here. There was a third party. Maybe there was a third party practicing a love spell against your twin flame, right? And it could be any number of things like that. It's going to depend based on the triangle here, where you fit in the triangle, whether you're the third party, whether you're the other person that wasn't responding to somebody's feelings, right? It just does place it where you fit in the equation, if this is your reading. Yeah, someone was practicing, but they thought that they weren't. That's why black magic came in the reverse, because they thought it wasn't harmful to do a love spell. Okay, and I have relatives like that don't think anything of going and paying someone to do a love spell because they have a crush on someone. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in doing love magic because I don't believe in interfering with people's will And love magic doesn't work anyways unless someone does have some feeling for the person, in which case it can kind of, but you know, there's a lot of mixed feelings about love spells and love magic. I'm not someone that does that kind of work, but there are people that do it and don't think it's wrong. And I think that's what happened here in this reading, is that someone started doing love work thinking that it wasn't wrong and that it was just going to grease the wheels or like do, you know, make somebody make a move or whatever. Well, what it did was totally backfire. That's exactly what happened and what slowed everything down. The good news is, though, is that that's over. Yeah, you are welcome, Emma. Thank you for saying it. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Heidi. So yeah, anyways, this is what happened. So now there's good news coming. So I'm going to pull cards about that, because justice, a tower, and a very happy, joyful tower is what's coming in for you in the collective. So what is it? What is that going to look like for you? So this is a good reminder to people that if you are someone that believes in love spells and love workings and whatever, you better really, really, really be prepared for that to backfire on you, because it can. And that's what happened here, is what I'm feeling. There's an ancestral pattern that might have also been in the way here, because it's in the reverse. So you might have had ancestral ancestors between you that were enemies, okay? And that you might have had past lives together. And some of those imprints from past lives were interfering with the connection because of an old, like if you had, like I'm thinking of a scenario like Romeo and Juliet, where they were from warring families and they were star-crossed because of that. They were in love, but because their families were at war, they couldn't be together. And so with ancestors in the reverse, that's kind of what I'm picking up here, is like some kind of flavor like that. And that someone abandoned their faith. Someone abandoned their faith in the situation here. What does that mean? Because this is what's coming. This is what's coming here, Spirit. Justice, security and abundance, and a happy home life. A major happy shock. It's interesting. I don't know what's going on here, because where the energy is headed, according to tarot, is very positive. But now when I'm asking for clarity about that from Intuitive Kev's deck, it's coming out with more negative messaging. This person that was maybe twin flame in the reverse, maybe that's part of it for some of you, was that you were wrong about the person that you were in love with. I don't know, right? It's going to be different for different people. But here, the further clarifying cards is someone was thinking about bad karma or an entity attachment. So that might have been more of where your mind was going, right? Did this person give up on me? Did they abandon? I thought we were twin flames, but they gave up and went with a third party. Do they have bad karma? Do I have bad karma that's preventing this? These are all the things that have been on your mind. It might not be going to answer what's coming other than this positive shock and joy. What's coming? Can I ask one more time, Spirit? What's coming now that this stagnancy is over? It's interesting because there's a shocking change coming, but then right here in the facts position, it says there's no change. So that might be like a switch up. Like you might have thought you were going to be with someone, and then somebody else comes in and swoops you off your feet. And then you're like, oh my God, this is my fated partner, right? Or, you know, it could be something like that too. What's coming, Spirit? What's coming now? The positive, shocking turn of events. Can we have any type of details about that? About the shocking change? tell us about the shocking change. Yeah, well, the whatever dark, you know, there was like a, well, just a second here. Here's the shocking change that's coming, is that you're going to somehow find out that this person that was doing all this magical working and whatever, they've given up. That's what you're going to find out. And it's going to make you really happy. They've moved on. They've given up. They've something. I just heard they got deported. That's not something I would ever hope for anyone. Okay. I'm sorry. I just have to say it. Fuck ICE. Okay. I know this reading is not about that, but I heard that in my ear, and so now it brought ICE into the discussion. So I'm not an ICE supporter. I don't support what they're doing. They're bringing fascism to people's front doors and to the streets of cities all across the nation. So I think they are a modern Gestapo. So now that we have that out of the way, this is good news coming. Maybe what I'll do is pull some tiles for some names or initials for people that this reading is for. And then also, although I can also answer questions. If anyone's in here got a question and want to answer, just put it in the chat and I'll ask a question for you. I got to put my glasses on to read the chat now because I can't. Oops, where did I? Oh, they're right here. So yeah, if anyone has a question, go ahead and ask in the chat. Hi, Art. Hi, Manuel. Love and light to you. Yeah, go for it. If you want to ask a question, I would love to answer it for you. Doesn't look like maybe anyone has any questions that I can see. So what I'm going to do is pull some tiles and we'll get names to see who that reading might have been for. And then maybe that'll do it for this live. I can't wait until I'm in a setup that's not this, sitting on the floor anymore. I mean, it's cute and everything, but I'm going to be happy to be a little more comfortable at some point. It looks like someone just entered a question. So let me ask that for you. I'm going to pull these tiles first, and then I'll ask you a question. So don't go anywhere, because I'm going to ask your question, okay? These are tiles for the collective reading I just did. Sorry, I'm spacing out here. I've got Lupe for Guadalupe. Got someone's ex-boyfriend. That reading was about somebody's ex-boyfriend. Ghoul. Someone might be into horror. Bolivia. Someone might be Boliviano. Pi. Somebody might be into mathematics. Roe. Somebody might be into fishing. Roe means eggs, like caviar. I'm getting Brexit, so somebody might have had falling outs over politics. Poi, somebody might travel to the Hawaiian Islands. Poi is a food, a type of root native to Hawaii. Vogel. Someone might have the last name Vogel, or there might be messages in that reading for me because my last name is Vogel. Vogel also means bird, so birds may have relevance, and we have bird here also. Birds are significant. Someone might be into birding. Pox, disease is coming through, and disease came through in that first card pull for that general reading. Rue is a witching herb, so we also came into, we're talking about spell work. Rue is an herb used by witches. Lore and Lori. Lori is a name that might have meaning. Lopi. Lopi is a brand of wood stoves. We got Swan. Xuan. Swan Vu, that was one of my mentors when I first graduated college. She was a really wonderful ESL teacher. So ESL might have meaning for someone, or someone may have the last name Vu or have the name Swan. That person that was in the chat in the beginning, Quan, was anti-queer. He was homophobic, so that might have relevance here. Ripe. Gel. Bovine. Got stuff coming through about disease. Rope. Gale. And Gill. Okay, sorry. I could go on and on, but someone asked me a question. Let me go ahead and get to your question. Sorry about that. I don't mean to be rude. How do I receive from the spirit realm into my bank? Should I go to the police today? Okay, well, I'm not somebody that's a big police person, so if you're asking me, I would always say don't talk to cops. But if you're a crime victim, I'm not gonna judge you, okay? So let's find out. Should I go to the police today? Someone wants to know if they need to go to the cops today. Should I go to the police today? Should I go to the cops today? That's what they want to know. Or maybe you know something significant about a crime that really hurts someone, and you have information that would help the investigation. So as a general rule, as an anarchist, I'm anti-police, and I would say don't go to the cops, that in general. But I'm also not a fool. We live in the world where that's the world we live in, right? My friend just had to make a police report the other day, and she's not a cop caller either, but you got to do what you got to do. So what do we need to know about police for this person asking this question, Spirit? Should they go to the cops today? On the split, we have the King of Cups in the reverse. So definitely you're going to have to get your emotions out of the situation. That's going to be first. Well, what? That's weird because, oh, I see. Interesting. So the King of Cups is not a vocal king. Okay, a king keeps his cards close, but he came in the reverse. And so at first I thought that meant you got to get your emotions out of the situation. But your advice is the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups does move forward and make a gesture. And so it's saying yes to go to the police today, okay? And make some type of an offer. Make a gesture of willingness to communicate with the cops, okay? Because there's some kind of conflict. You're facing some kind of conflict with the Five of Swords here at the current center of your circumstances. You've lost hope. You feel no sense of direction or feeling of hope around the situation. The facts are that there's a lot of money involved, a lot of money and security around the table in the situation that you asked about. And the advice is yes, you should go to the cops today and you should offer to communicate with them. Okay. I'm going to ask any more advice, details, just any more about the Knight of Cups, saying yes, go forward and communicate. What else do you need to know about the communication, if anything? And I hope that's helpful to you. I'm not going to ask any more about it because I'm having this feeling that the less you have to say about it, the better. So anything else about this Knight of Cups? Oh my God, bring it to light. Do it. Bring it to light. Bring the truth out. Bring the truth out. That's what it's saying. Something about jail, possibly, with this 8 of Swords. And a Queen of Wands in the upright. Yeah, and now here's the King of Cups in the upright again. So it's what I'm picking up is that it potentially, by you going to the police, jail might be involved for somebody. Okay, so just know that. But it's not saying not to. It's saying to go to the police, okay? It's saying to speak to them and bring the truth to light that you have. So I'm going to leave that there. And then let me see if there's any more questions. There was another one, I know. Oops. Just dropped that card. Let me scroll back and see what the other questions are. How do I receive money from the spirit realm to my bank? Perfect. That's what I was forgetting. Or not forgetting, but that was the question I was thinking of. How do I receive money from the spirit realm into my bank account? Great question. How do I receive money into my bank account from the spirit realm? What's going to be a good way for them to set intentions spiritually so that their prayers or requests are answered and they get money into their bank account with help from the spirit world? How do they do that? What's going to be a good way to go? What is going to be a good way to go? Ooh. Okay, your prayer or your question about money is being answered right here in this layout. So you're about to be given an opportunity, okay? There's an opportunity that's about to cross your path. If it hasn't already, you might, as your name, Barry, hi Barry, you will recognize an opportunity like this when it comes in, because it comes in like a blaze. It's the Ace of Wands. It's a huge catalyzing opportunity, right? It's something that's definitely going to catch your attention. It's not like a spam email that you, oh my God, did I ignore the wrong email? It's going to be something that really is noticeable and startling and fast and energetic, right? It's going to be an opportunity that comes to you. If you haven't already had an experience like that, it's about to happen. Okay, that's the situation. You're about to have some type of an opportunity cross your path. You're going to have a choice about whether to take it or not. The worry is that you might think it's too good to be true. You might need to walk away from it. The advice is to take the opportunity. It's going to bring a judgment day into your life. So that is the answer to your question. If you're wondering, how can I get the spirit world to help me bring money to my account? They're listening and they're answering, and they're going to send you an opportunity that you're going to have to make a decision or a choice about. You're being advised to take the opportunity. The opportunity is going to bring a big judgment day into your life, from maybe a time of scarcity and being broke into a big windfall, or infusion into your bank account, right? Let's see what the Judgment Day card looks like. You might be afraid when this opportunity comes, and you're thinking, oh, no, I shouldn't. That's a big, because it's very catalytic, okay? It might kind of scare you a little bit in the beginning, but it's saying take the opportunity. That's what's going to bring you the money. If you want money, right? Okay, maybe it's going to be like, we'll give you all this money, but you got to go around naked for a year. And then you're like, well, I don't want to do that. I want the money, but I don't want to be naked for a year, right? So it's saying if you want the money, take the opportunity. So let's find out about the Judgment Day. What's the Judgment Day? It's saying no change for someone. So a Judgment Day is a radical change, though. So let's find out no change for who. Oh, never mind. I don't need to, because your question was about money. This is saying that it's a great opportunity. If you don't take it, you're going to stay in place where you are, where you can't get ahead, where you maybe that's how you feel right now, is that you're working and you're not getting a lot in savings, or you're working hard but you're not able to get ahead and get the money that you need in order to feel a little bit of relief. This is saying that if you don't take the opportunity that comes in, you're going to just be in treading water where you are, okay? But this opportunity is an opportunity that's going to bring you the money that you're seeking, okay? I hope that helps. I'm sorry it took me a while to kind of get that out. I hope that's useful to you, though. And now, let's see if there are any. I'm going to just give this a quick shuffle and then scroll back and see if there's any other questions. And if not, I'll go ahead and close out the live and focus on doing an upload for later as well. So let me scroll back now. When will it arrive? Hi, should I move back home? Okay, oops, sorry. I don't know when it will arrive. I'm not going to ask that because timing questions are not my strong suit. How do I receive my, yeah, okay, already asked that. Oh, these are not the most. Should I move back home? Okay, last question. I'm going to ask this last question. I'm going to switch decks too. Last question. Should I move back home? Let's get into it. Should I move back home? Thank you for being here. And if you like my work, I hope you'll like and subscribe. I love doing my channel. It's one of my favorite things in life right now. It was hard to be away for a week. The only thing that made it easy was that I was doing something else that I love. So that's good. Should I move back home? Should I move back home? What do the cards have to say about this question? So what I'm feeling is that you're going through a really intense struggle right now, where you might feel a little bit unclear about what you should do, to the point that you might be feeling a little bit of a lack of hope. Because with the Star card in the reverse, that's kind of what that energy that gives to me, that you might be feeling a little bit sorrowful, a little bit adrift, or kind of lost in a void, or just without a lot of hope. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, you're being witnessed here, okay? Should I move back home? The challenge is work. There might be something going on with work for you because the Eight of Pentacles is here, but it's in the reverse in the challenge position. Sorry about that heater. It's obnoxious and loud, I know. So you may be wondering if moving back home would bring better work and a more stable sense of balance and an equal give and take. Like if you're living closer to home, there might be more support for you, is what you're wondering. The advice is the Death card, and to me that means, yeah, make the change and make a move out of your current reality, go into the chrysalis and emerge in a different reality, right? That's what I think. What it's saying though is that moving back home might be a little bit of a hard transition, okay? It might be a little rough, but I think you're being advised to do it. Let me just pull some clarifiers. You have a lot of major arcanas here. You have 1, 2, 3 in a 6-card spread. So that means there's a lot of really powerful change happening in your life. Now, not all of it are you going to be in control over. Some of it is going to be happening and you'll feel slightly at the mercy of it. But this is all really good. This positive omen in where the energy is headed is a really wonderful blessing for you. It's the Empress card. It's saying that by moving home, you're going to have an ability to rise into a new station of fertile abundance, of receiving everything that you need and that has been lacking. It's a pretty big yes to moving home, okay? I'm just going to pull a couple cards around the Death card. Why the Death card for the advice? Or is it just saying that it's going to be maybe a little bit of an emotionally intense transition to move home? What is it about the Death card here? That's what I would take it to mean if it were my reading, but I want to make sure about that for you. Yeah, it's saying that where you are has run its course. You have not stopped. You're still moving forward in your life, and you're disciplined and grounded in your approach to how you're approaching your challenges. But your environment and where you are currently has run its course. It's a closed chapter, or it's a closing chapter, right? And if you move away and walk away, you're going to kind of step back into this power, right, of this tiger right here. It may not be an easy choice to decide, but by doing it, you're going to rise into mastery again by doing this. So that's powerful. This is a powerful question that you asked. And I'm honored to read for you. Thank you. I'm glad that you showed up here, and I'm glad that I got to ask that question for you because the answer is pretty clear. And I love it when tarot answers really clearly like that, that says, yeah, it's a really good move for you. It's going to answer a lot of the things that have been missing, the evenness of experience that's been lacking maybe. All right. I was looking for my glasses and they're on. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this reading, but it feels really great to be here again. Thank you so much to everybody that came into the chat, that participated, that watched my reading. If you like my work, I do try to typically post a couple times a week at minimum. And I try to do at least a couple lives in a week now, at least once a week for sure. But anyways, yeah, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. Thank you so much. My name is Cynthia. This is Cardinal Rose Tarot. Keep an eye out too in my shorts here in the next couple days. I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about the NFTs that I'm launching this weekend. So if you're into that kind of thing, digital art and tarot card making and all that, check those out. And otherwise, I thank you so much for liking and subscribing. I really appreciate that. Education, I'm not going to ask any more questions today because I'm kind of running out of steam, but I do answer questions pretty much every time I go live. After I've done the general reading, I'll answer questions at the end like I did today. So if you want to come back in and ask on another live, please do. And also feel free, if you want, to go back into my videos tabs and scroll through timeless readings and titles. And if one of the titles jumps out at you, there might be a title about that answers that question for you, because I have a lot of uploads at this point. I've been uploading and reading on here for a good, couple years now. So thank you for being here, Education. And I'm sorry I'm not going to ask today, but I will ask in the future for you if you come back. And I also might answer it in an upload. You never know. So thank you so much. And I will see you in the next time. Much love to you, and Happy New Year. And Gregorian New Year, I should say. I'm excited for the Lunar New Year coming up, the Year of the Horse. So thanks. Have a good one. See you next time. Bye-bye.